There's something that I wish to discuss with you guys today. And it's about when it comes to success, what type of person must you become? So let me read you a quote that I have screenshot as a wallpaper on my iPhone. And I feel like it resonates with me quite a bit. And I'll explain to you why. The higher you desire to go, the more cunning, the more intelligent, and the more smooth and ruthless you have to be. Men who don't lose their innocence never find the gravitational pull a top tier man will have. A presence sharpened by experience and grounded in reality is impossible to ignore. Power, business, friendship, love, pain, loss, blood, freedom, legacy, brotherhood. You fail because you still believe in rules and structures instead of options, risk, and outcome. So, what does that mean to me? I feel growing up, I've had a strong moral compass, an extremely strong moral compass to the point it's become crippling. You look at people like Donald Trump or, Andrew Tate. I'm not saying I agree with these people. I'm simply just listing people. Or maybe Vladimir Putin. You look at those characters in places of power and who they've had to become to get to where they are now. And I'm not necessarily just mentioning those people. You think about millionaires. And there's also that little phrase that rings true and it talks about it you have to pay the price to be a boss. And I look at my life and who I am as a person. I'm so morally encompassing. I think I'm so great. I hand my money to the homeless people. I try to pick off trash off the road. And you get to a point in your life and you think, so what has that gotten me? And I guess there's that argument to say that, at least you're not selling your soul. I think that's the weak argument out of it. I think God put us on this earth in the sake of abundance, to gain what we want, to strive for what we want. But a lot of the times, when we want to go for what we want, we're also kind of selling something in return. And you know what? There's also that other quote that goes, we're a bunch of sinners judging other people's sin because it's not what we do for sin. You might look at social media and the product is you. You scroll continuously for hours and for hours and for hours and for hours, and you think that's okay. But then again, you're being lazy, you're being lethargic, that's sin. But then you look at somebody else's sin, maybe they're quite lustful, or maybe they're quite, I don't know, provocative in certain ways. And then you judge their sin, but then they're judging your sin because they say that you're lazy, you're not out there making money the way that they are. And so then I come to myself and I ask, so who am I to tell myself that I should not become more ruthless? Still have my essence of morality there. But in order to become but in order to become who I want to become, I need to remove that innocent part of myself. I'm always so worried about the little things in my life and it's become so crippling. Should I eat this, or should I get this tattoo, or should I speak to this woman, or should I don't know, spend money on this or money on that? I'm stuck in my own little bubble. I've trapped myself in my own ignorance, in my own fear, that I've become completely paralyzed to action. You look at characters like Donald Trump or the millionaires out there that have, massive homes and fame and all this other stuff. And I'm not saying that fame is something that you should go and strive towards. But when it comes to anything that's in your life, anything that you want to achieve so dearly, you've got to remove that essence of innocence, because innocence is not going to get to you to where you want to get to. Maybe in the rare case scenario, but whenever anybody's made any sort of money, it's always come with a lot more problems. Family problems, money problems, law problems, police and all, problems. What's that other quote that goes, you can tell the size of the man by the size of his problems. And me being me now in all my fear and worrying about, I'm gonna somehow hurt myself, or I'm gonna do something wrong or hurt somebody because I'm so scared about being, morally correct. I can't deal with the stuff that comes with the success that I want. So I beg yourself to ask yourself the question today: do you run on moral obedience? And how does that affect your life today? And how does it affect your life in the future? Worrying about whether or not you should do something because you think it's morally correct. And let me give you an example of how morally crippling it is. I wanted to start many different businesses in my life. So for example, like a power washing business, power washing, like a cleaning company. You know, when you get the tools and you wash cars and all that. I was worried about if I'd scratch the car. Would I need insurance? Do I need this? Do I need that? Do I need this? Or if I went to start like a candle company, oh, what if they start fires in people's homes? The people that are making candle companies, the innocent women that have, I don't know, a simple job and they have like 6 children, do you think they're worrying about fire starting in people's houses? Yes, of course they are, but they're still doing the thing. But then I ask that you try and extrapolate what I'm saying to you in your own life. What are you doing that's holding you back from doing what you want to do? Or what are you telling yourself? There's always a price to pay for these things. And people love to say with their little moral high ground, oh, you know, it's um you've got to, what was I gonna say? And people love to say with their little moral high ground, oh, you know, yeah, you've got to do right by people and that. But, you know, companies kill millions of people every year. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like I said to you earlier, a candle company. How many candles a year do, how many candles a year kill people from fires? And their intention is simply just to be a nice gift to somebody that you love. Or for example, with food, you know, McDonald's or whatever, how many people are filled with those toxins on a day-to-day basis of basically fake food? You've got to lose your moral obedience. I'm still working on this myself, so I'm not gonna act like I'm completely in tune with this understanding. I still have this strong level of guilt when it comes to the things that I want to achieve. But I think one of the main things I've told myself this year and from this point on is that I'm going to try my best to be unapologetically myself, because one day I'm going to die, one day I'm going to pass away. God forbid I could die today or tomorrow or next week, and I didn't do what I wanted to do. One thing I'll always say is that I will always stand by with God and I'll always keep my heart within God. But I'll try to lose some of my moral obedience towards myself, because sometimes I think that it's what's truly holding me back, and it might be holding you back.